Valentine's Day right around the corner, I thought an interesting video that may be very helpful is to discuss finding the perfect red lip. Valentine's Day is the time where, you know, very often we break out the bold, beautiful, striking red lip. But sometimes it can be hard to find a red that looks good for your skin tone, for your complexion. And so I have grabbed all the red lipsticks that I have, and I've written down some notes, and I am just going to share with you the information that I have. What I want to say from the get is that this is not the end all be all. If something I say contradicts a color you wear it, rock it. Really, whatever red makes you feel the most powerful and the most striking and the most like boss babe attitude, that's the one to wear for you. But if you are curious as to like what kind of color should I be looking for, do I need a cool toned or a warm tone, or you know, you're lost for words and you just don't know where to start, I'm hoping that this video will give you a jumping off point, somewhere to kind of start looking, so that hopefully you can find a red lipstick that works good for you. So I have 4 categories of lips here. And so what I want to start with are the cool reds. These are also known as the blue reds. Oftentimes the cool reds or the blue reds are often marketed towards people with cool skin tones. It's the same when you're looking for your foundations. A lot of times you'll have the cool tone foundations, you'll have the neutrals, and then you'll have the more warm tone foundations. Well, if you tend to go with a cool tone foundation, which I do, I'm going to lean toward a cool toned red. If you're someone who has warmth to your skin, if when you go for foundations you tend to rock a warm undertone, then you'll want to listen to the warm reds category. But right now I'm going to show you some examples of this cool toned red lipsticks and a couple lip liners. Also, everything I'm showing you is drugstore, so hopefully if you see something that really works for you, you can have easy access to it for Valentine's Day. So usually with the blue reds, we're looking at the alabaster skin tones, the fair skin tones, the medium skin tones that lead onto the cool undertone side. One example that I have of this is actually one of my favorites. This is the Maybelline Super Stay Ink Crayon, and this is in Make It Happen. So here is a swatch of that. I hope you're seeing that whenever it hits in the light, it's almost got this purpley blue tinge to it, and that's what I mean by looking at a red that has a cool undertone. Obviously we look at it and yes, it is the color red, but it is leaning just a little bit bluish purple in the undertone. So that is one of those reds that we consider a blue red, or one that has the cool undertone. Another great example of this kind of a red also comes from, again, Maybelline. This is their Super Stay Matte Ink Liquid Lip, and this is in the shade Voyager. Now, this is a much darker, deeper red, but still, as you kind of look at it, it's got that coolness to it that lends itself to being one of those blue reds. Another great example is this lipstick, and this is from Maybelline. This is one of their bullets in 645 Red Revival. Now, another reason I wanted to do this video is because it can be kind of hard to tell in store what an undertone is going to be of a lipstick. Like if you just look at this sticker, that looks just red. That, to me, if I had just picked that up from the store, I would say, okay, yeah, that's a neutral red. But when you swatch it, it almost leans, again, kind of that blue. I would say this one that we're talking about specifically could be in like the in-between category. Like if you wanted something cool but not quite, you see how this one almost looks blue? I think this would be a good example. It kind of is in that little bit of a middle spectrum of leaning cool but also kind of leaning neutral. So that's kind of a good middle ground for those two categories. And again, that is Red Revival from Maybelline. Another example, this one you can get from the Dollar General. This is from LA Colors. This is one of their matte lipsticks in the shade Scarlet. So can you see it? It kind of looks pinky, but again with this one, when you shift it, it almost has a little bit of a bluish purple undertone to it. So here's 4 different shades of red, but they're all leaning kind of that cool undertone. I think this one is probably the most, again, kind of in that middle ground where that almost could be neutral, but I think it could work for someone who is looking for a cool toned one, but not quite so cool toned as this Maybelline Ink Crown. Now, if you want a cool toned, no questions asked blue liner, this one from Milani, this is the Color Statement Lip Liner in True Instant Color, and this is in Bordeaux. That is very cool toned red right here. It honestly would go really good with this Maybelline Matte Ink Liquid Lip. And another really nice blue toned liner is from Believe Beauty. This is their long lasting lip liner in Intense Rouge. So here we have it right here. So again, this one almost could be in the same category as this lip, where it almost is in that in-between of cool and neutral. Like it could kind of toe the line for either category. But if you are looking for a cool toned blue lip, these might be some nice options for you to check. The truest cool toned one out of this category would definitely be the Matte Ink Lip. Again, that is in Make It Happen. That is a true cool toned red, cool tone deeper, a lighter cool tone almost pinky, and then this one again from LA Colors in Scarlet could almost kind of toe the line in between. But here are some examples of your cool toned reds, which is generally the category that I wear. Like this one is my, actually let's pop some on. This one is my favorite. I actually had to stop at my mom's and get it from my sister for this video. All right, so again, with the cool tones, you're looking at the Alabaster Fair medium skin tones that lean to the cool spectrum. Okay, now let's do some neutral. Well, let's do warm. Let me show you the opposite, so hopefully you can see the contrast. So in talking about the warm reds go very well for people who have warm skin tones. And the reason they are deemed the warm reds are that they pull an orange undertone. So where our cool ones pulled blue, the warm reds are going to pull a little bit more orange. So they can pull more of the orange. Like, I mean, anybody can wear what you want. I could wear one of these orange ones. I just think with my skin tone, sometimes it just doesn't look quite right. Let me show you what I mean by that. I have this lipstick from Wet n Wild. This is Sex on the Beach. This is orange. This is not a part of our red experiment here, or our red, whatever we're doing, swatches, but I just want to show you what I mean. So when you look at this, this is orange. So now let me show you some of these reds with the orange undertone. A really nice liquid lip is this one from Flower Beauty. It is their Miracle Matte Lip in Scarlet Letter. And I'm just going to swatch it right above this orange. If you can see this swatch, when it shifts, it almost has this orange tone to it. I'm hoping that by swatching it next to this orange lipstick, you can kind of see it looks much more warm, more vibrant than next to this more blue one that I'm wearing. So there's one example. Another nice example is this one. It is again from Wet n Wild. This is one of their matte lipsticks. It is in Red Velvet. It's a much lighter shade than the Flower Beauty, but when you turn it, it almost has this little bit of an orange cast to it. And then another really nice one, if you want a bullet lipstick, is this one from L'Oreal, their Color Riche. This is 403 Matte Traction Red. Very nice orange-based red. So here we have 3 different, now I don't have any lip liners for this category simply because I don't wear them that often. But okay, let's get rid of this orange swatch down here because people will be like, what in the heck? So here we have these 3, a bit darker on the orange spectrum, a little bit lighter, and then truly what I would call a orange red is this Matte Traction one here from L'Oreal. So again, we're looking at the warmer skin tones. Here, I'll put it on just to show you. I mean, can I wear it? Sure. See how much more vibrant that is? So if you're someone who has a warmer undertone to your complexion, you may be interested in these warm reds. And again, that is because they pull that kind of an orangey undertone. All right, now let's talk neutral. The neutral reds, they don't pull super blue or super orange. These are great for people with tan or olive skin tones. You know, kind of the brick reds, the warm reds, the just in the middle reds, that can work great. Sometimes, even though a neutral may be great for someone with tan or olive skin, I think a neutral can be worn for, look at that. A neutral can be worn for someone who is cool undertone or a warm undertone. And I have quite a few examples of this. So let's go ahead and start with LA Colors. This is their matte lipstick in Exquisite. Now this is going to be a dark red, but neutral. So here we have Exquisite. The next one is from ColourPop. This is their Luxe Velvet Lip, and it's a banger. Love these. They do something to your lips that just make them look blurred out. I don't know. Now, as we put these two side by side, it almost looks like this one is pulling more cool and this one is pulling more warm. See, that's the thing about reds. When I swatched them a minute ago, I was certain this is the category they went in, and then you start swatching and you put them beside a different red, and it's kind of like, oh, is that... But anyway, another really nice red from ColourPop is this Just a Tint in Chimichanga. So can you see they both aren't pulling? You know, I think I'm going to have to move Exquisite to our cool toned. That is coming off just too blue next to these other ones. So we're going to move Exquisite to our cool tone pile. And we're going to go ahead and wipe it off. But see, compared to the other one, it looked neutral. So again, this is Chimichanga from ColourPop. They're not pulling orange. They're not pulling blue. Another matte ink crown. This one is Own Your Empire. When you shift it, there's no blue. There's no orange. It's just red. Just a true neutral red. And another Superstay matte ink liquid lip. This is in Pioneer. We're kind of going from lightest to darkest. And then two nice neutral red lip liners. This one is from NYX, retractable lip liner in Sienna. And then another nice one is the LA Girl Ultimate Intense Stay Auto Liner in Relentless Red. And here we have that. So I am going to put on, I think this one for you. And this is the neutral red in Own Your Empire. Okay, so much more just red. Like, there's no blue red, orange red. It's just red, a very neutral toned red. Now, the fourth category that I want to talk about is the wine or berry reds. So these ones, again, it just kind of, it depends if you're cool toned or warm toned. I would say the wine berry reds lean more cool toned, and especially like your deeper skin tones. However, I'm pale as Casper and I still wear them. So let me just go ahead and show you these in case you are looking for more of a wine berry red. So 3 examples I have of this is, one is from Wet n Wild. This is their Mega Slicks lip gloss, and this is in Wined and Dined. So here we have that very berry red, probably more cool of an undertone, but super pretty. Another nice example of a wineish berry color. This is from Revlon, their Color Burst Balm Stain, and this is in Crush. It almost looks purple, like when you first apply it, but after you put it on the lips and let it sit for a little bit, and it truly stains your lips, the results that you have after are more of that wine berry color. And a third one that if you go by the guides, it would be more for a deeper skin tone with cool undertones. I don't care. I love it. This is from Wet n Wild. This is their Perfect Pout lip color. And this is in the shade 99% chance of wine. So there are a couple examples of that wine berry red. I love this color. I love it with my hair. So those are the categories. What I want to do before we finish is put all three side by side. I'm not going to do the wine berries, but I want to show you once again. Let's do, okay, this is going to be our neutral, so we'll put it in the middle. This is Own Your Empire. So there's our neutral swatch. And then for our cool toned, I'm going to go in with this one, and it is Make It Happen. Cool toned on the bottom. And then for our orange, I'm going to go in with the Matte Traction Red, and we'll put it on the top. Okay, so here's three reds, but three very different undertones. On the top, you have the Matte Traction, where you can see it's very orange. Here we have the neutral, just red. And then here we have the cool toned bluish red. So hopefully from all of this information, you're able to determine maybe what category might work best for you. And then you can kind of go from there. And I mean, these aren't the only options. Reds are endless. And again, these are only drugstore reds. So there's obviously more options in the high-end makeup side. But my thinking is if you don't know what undertone you are, start with the drugstore products. Try some from Wet n Wild. Actually, Dollar General right now has, if you have one near you, Wet n Wild and LA Colors, like super marked down. I got both of these for like $1.12 and $1.45. So that may be a good way for you to kind of start experimenting. I think they even had some of these Maybelline ones marked down as well. So before you go out and spend big bucks on a lipstick for it to potentially not work well for you, maybe experiment in that drugstore category. And, you know, you could buy a couple reds and then try them on. And then you're like, oh, I really like how this one looks. And then you can go from there. So I'm just hoping that this video will give you a good, like I said, like starting point, maybe hopefully some information to help you narrow down the field, because like I said, the reds are endless, and it's going to be Valentine's Day, and I want to rock a red lip, and I want to rock it with these cute earrings. So I think I am going to go neutral for Valentine's Day. But let me know down below, did that help? Are you more confused, or are you feeling a little bit confident to go out and pick your red? Again, if you think you're a cool undertone, but your red pulls warm and you like it, wear it. The whole goal is for you to find one that makes you feel confident and makes you want to just be a sassafras, because that's what we all deserve to feel like. So, thank you for watching this video. I hope you will like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.